Yeah, we'll just get it out of the way. Guys, the Mario movie was pretty bad. I'm just going to spoil all of it, so if you haven't seen it, hey, first of all, by the way, I'm not actually spoiling anything because it's not possible to spoil anything about the Mario movie because there's no plot, and the only interesting stuff is references, and you know what the references are going to be because you know what Mario is. So, like, spoilers, he says Mamma Mia. Like, oh, wow. Oh, what spoilers, they fight Bowser. Like, there's nothing interesting. Um, they paid respect to speedrunners by flying through the plot. True. Yeah, they really got the. It turns out that if you do the coveted character development skip, you can actually arrive at the final credits 23 minutes earlier. Yeah, it was really bad. I'm sorry. By the way, just to be clear, not a hater. I don't know if any of you saw my tweets, but I was actually kind of excited about seeing the movie. I said so on stream as well, so I am not at all like coming into this to rain on anyone's parade, but I was really disappointed. It is a mid to low tier Illumination movie. It's not as good as the first Despicable Me movie. It might be better than the second one. I don't remember much about the second one. I haven't seen the Minions movie. It's not as good as Despicable Me 1 though. And for something that like has made this much money and gotten this many accolades, like that's pretty low. That's a pretty low bar. That's pretty disappointing. I thought Nintendo would exercise a lot more editorial control. I expected like I thought that I thought like the Illumination like studio execs would all be on a table and like Miyamoto would just like have a gun on his side. And just be like, "All right, let's talk about this." But it didn't it didn't have any of that like polish, you know? Yeah, I expected them to be way more controlling with their IPs. Um Absolutely not. Did you not watch the 80s movie? Yeah, but that was 80s Nintendo. That's not even close to what we have today. Nintendo is a massive brand now. Enormous. How was Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt sucked. Um it was pretty bad. I think YMS said this, and I agree. Toad has the best. Toad had the best voice. I think that I liked Peach's voice. I liked the voice acting that was done for her, and unfortunately, Jack Black as Bowser was kind of mid. I'm really sorry to say. I love Jack Black. It's definitely not a personal bias at all with him. But I don't think. Yeah, it just I don't know. The music video was great. Nah. Okay, here's the main. Okay, here's the main thing. All right. Let. It was the most risk averse movie that I've like ever watched. The thing with Mario is Mario as an IP has universal, uniform, mass market appeal. Everybody knows stuff about Mario. You could go to like rural villages in India and legitimately find people who know stuff about Mario. It's insane. YMS is in YouTube chat? No way. Like just attracted to the sound of hating? Holy shit, what's up, Adam? Your video was great. We watched it right after we finished the movie. Okay. Okay. I want to be clear. I know not. Okay, I'm gonna just bitch like endlessly now. And again, I'm not going to structure my bitching because there is no plot to structure it around. I'm not a big music guy. Everyone who knows me knows that. I just don't know much about music. I don't listen to it much. I listen to podcasts or video essays. There are some songs that I like, but not many. I have never been so let down by the track list to a movie before. Like it was like I want to say gut wrenching, but I don't want to sound soy. Like it was genuinely upsetting. The thing is, like Mario has a more well-known like palette of musical options than almost any pre-existing IP you could think of adapting into a film. All of you know multiple Mario songs, right? Like everyone does. People know like that's if you think about that, like that's crazy. Think of how many video game franchises have a musical backing so well established that basically everybody knows what it sounds like and knows the sounds of the Mario universe. And you know what the song had? something like 5 or 6 licensed musical tracks. They had Thunderstruck from AC/DC. They had Take On Me from a-ha. What relevance were these songs to the scenes they were played over? None. Zero. In fact, before it got taken down due to DMCA on Twitter, somebody showed that there was actually a custom Donkey Kong-inspired instrumental that was made for the movie that synced perfectly with a scene to the movie that got cut and replaced with Take On Me from a-ha. They had custom music lined up, and they replaced it with licensed music because I guess Miyamoto couldn't keep Illumination Studios and their grubby little hands off of licensed meme songs. It was insane. Like, again, can you imagine? Like, I'm just look. Pixar movies exist, okay, and a lot of Pixar movies aren't even that good. There's no excuse, all right. If you're making an all ages appropriate or even kid centered animated movie, you can have artists making a really interesting and like cohesive soundtrack. You want to oh man, I just bought the soundtrack to the movie, the Mario movie. Oh man, I can't wait to hear all these like high budget remixes of Mario songs that have been custom tuned to this expertly delivered movie. Oh man, I hope it's not 50% comprised of licensed music. Not only licensed music, by the way, but all of the like big action scenes, with the exception of one that I can think of, just has generic like what's that Nolan movie? You know what I'm what's the just like generic orchestral music. Inception, thank you. Yeah, like, you know, it's the action scene. You hear like like you've heard these songs a million times. You don't even think about them when you hear them anymore. They're not even like a song, really. They're basically just like an audio tone setter. They don't actually, nobody thinks about these songs. Nobody reflects on them or thinks, wow, that really complemented the scene, outside of like, I don't know, the most basic ground level. This is not a long movie. The fact that they were so inexpert in how they constructed something that should have had like a really, really cohesive and authoritative and interesting sound space is like pretty wild. Oh, by the way, the plot sucks. Hey, Mario and Luigi start out in Brooklyn, and they're running a failing 2-man plumbing business, and then they find a pipe in the underground that takes them to the Mario world. What does the initial like 10 minutes spent in Brooklyn contribute to the story, the plot, the narrative? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. If they had cut it out and the movie had began when he stumbles out of the warp pipe directly in the Mushroom Kingdom, that would have been fine. That would have been like that. Nothing would have been lost. It would have been completely okay. It's an isekai. It's an isekai. It's literally a isekai. That's right. Oh, and a complete. Oh, by the way, you want biggest disappointment? Okay, at the end, due to some contrived bullshit, they all end up getting warped back to Brooklyn at the end of the fight with Bowser. So Mario and Luigi are fighting Bowser in Brooklyn, canonic USA Brooklyn. You know what? You know where this goes? You know what happens as a product of this? Nothing. It's just a change in scenery. The only reason they did that is so that after he beats Bowser, all of his family members can run out and go like, wow, you sure beat up that giant turtle. Somehow. That's it. That's the only reason they did it. The payoff for the entire 15 minutes of the movie that was wasted in Brooklyn was that. You know, a subplot of the movie is Mario doesn't feel respected by his father. I'm not joking. That's actually the emotional through line for the film, for Mario. It actually doesn't have anything to do with the Mushroom Kingdom. It opens with his dad being disappointed in his plumbing business, and at the end he's like, "Oh, well, you beat up the turtle good. So actually I'm proud of you." And that was like the ringer at the end that was like, "Oh, okay, so like there's the emotional arc completed. Mario has a dad? Yeah, they just gave us the whole Mario family. There's like 8 of them squatting in a Brooklyn apartment. Italians. They all have silly mustaches." I'm not joking. There are 2 emotional arcs. One of them is with Mario's father, and one of them is with Luigi. And at the end, Luigi pops up out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, we're at our best when we're working together." And then the film immediately ends. they weren't together for the entire film. There was no point. Nothing meant anything. There was no arc. There was no character development. Nobody rose above being more than like a couple of one-liners, I think, aside from the main characters who were multiple one-liner. Like, nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was a terrible movie. It was really bad, guys. Genuinely, it was very bad. It's great if you want to see references to Mario shit, but even then, they don't do much with it. Seriously, there's no visual flair to it at all. If you can imagine, okay, and I'm not joking when I say this, Despicable Me had more visual personality than the Mario movie. I'm not kidding. The way that Gru will like dance and move around conveys more animation, more like animative spirit than anything that happens in the Mario movie. They were the most like safe, boilerplate, no risks taken whatsoever with any visual and certainly with no audio stylings. I'm not joking. You can watch it. It literally just looks like any other 3D like mid-tier studio movie. None of the visual stylings of the games come out except in just how the world is modeled. That's it. Literally, that's it. Also, whenever Mario jumps, he does like the jump pose, you know? That's it. Literally, that's it. There's no creative use of the way the world is structured. Oh, and by the way, you might have thought, because you saw the trailers, you might have thought, oh, I wonder how they're going to incorporate platforming, you know, because Mario's a platformer. So, like, how is the Mushroom Kingdom built? Like, is the Mushroom Kingdom really all made up of, like, moving platforms and, like, you know, obstacles? And how are they going to do that? Nope. It's just a big green forest. The one time they show any kind of platforming structure is when Peach sets one up to, like, test Mario because she randomly wants him to come along with her. That's it. It's a green forest. That's it. Literally. You can walk around. I've walked in green forests. I thought I was in a Mario movie. I thought I was in the Mushroom Kingdom. My apologies. I must have been confused. It's so disappointing on so many levels. Oh, by the way, unless I didn't hear it, and I think I would have, believe it or not, and I can't believe I'm saying this, accompanying their audio failures, they never had the iconic Bowser 64 riff when introducing Bowser in a scene. Think about that for a second. The that. This is such a well-known like combination of notes that it's like audibly iconic. It's cannot be disassociated from Bowser as a character. They don't have it. He doesn't have any iconic music, if I remember. There were like 2 songs that were vaguely, like, loosely Mario themed, I think. At the end, they get the Power Star, and you hear the... Oh yeah, by the way, the whole threat from Bowser is that he found a Power Star, but when the Mario Bros touch it, it gives them invulnerability. I know this is like a pedant detail, but a Power Star and an invulnerability star aren't the same thing. It gave them invulnerability. It played the invulnerability theme. Power Stars don't do... That's a different thing. That's a different... Anyway, it was really bad. I could complain, like, endlessly, by the way. The voice performances were pretty bad for, like, every Kong. All, like, Cranky Kong, Donkey Kong. It sounded like shit. I'm sorry, Seth Rogen did not sound good. I apologize. Seth Rogen sounded like an impetuous teenager who was also somehow, like, the strongest warrior of the kingdom as Donkey Kong. The only good voice acting that I heard from any of the Kongs was Diddy Kong, who had one line, and it was him going, "Ow!" But it sounded good. So there you go. That's the good voice acting for the Kong Kingdom. Oh, Rainbow Road now apparently leads directly out of the Kong Kingdom. I thought Rainbow Road was in space. I saw Rainbow Road, and I thought, oh, are they going to go to space at some point? No, it's just a normal road right out from Donkey Kong's house. Also, it can be broken. It's not even made of rainbow, really. It's like a physical thing. They just wanted to add Rainbow Road, but they didn't want to contrive an excuse to have anything magical or fantastical about going into space. So they just made it like a normal road. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you'd think that if references are all they have, you'd think they would really try to sell you on the majesty of these concepts, but no. Not really. They could have had you go into space, by the way. One of the Lunas is in Bowser's prison. Rosalina's, the things that show up in Mario Galaxy. So Rosalina's somewhere out there. You're gonna gone into space, you know, but no, it's just a road. I can't believe how bad. Oh, the movie opened. Remember how I said the first 10 minutes in Brooklyn are worthless? The movie opened with this, like, really bizarre, nobody asked for this, this really bizarre, like, slapstick comedy scene where Mario and Luigi are doing their first plumbing job for their new company, and Luigi, and they're entering this new, like, gigantic, ultra-wealthy, this would be like a $1 trillion apartment in Brooklyn, by the way. And they pass by this big dog, and Luigi accidentally steps on his dog toy, and the dog starts, like, mean-mugging him, but not in, like, a dog growling kind of way, but in a, like, the life of pets kind of way. Like, this was an anthropomorphic dog somehow, despite being a dog. Like, the dog didn't growl. It basically did, like, this thing. And then later, when the Mario Bros go into the bathroom to fix up the problem, the dog enters the enters the bathroom, closes the door behind it somehow, and this triggers like 5 minutes of slapstick humor as the two Mario Bros try to fight like an angry wild dog. Who asked for this? I'm sincerely asking. You're having this AAA blockbuster studio Nintendo Mario adaptation. Kids? No, this isn't good for kids. No, this isn't interesting for kids. This isn't better. The kids want them to be in the Mushroom Kingdom. This isn't good for anyone. Why on earth would they open with this? It's funny, though? No, it's not. If you think that opening scene was funny, then you are too young to view my content. I will gatekeep this thing specifically, okay? This opening bit had nothing to do with the rest of the plot at all. It didn't set anything up, by the way. There was no consequence of that one plumbing job they did that then later had an effect on the story. There wasn't any payoff to it. There was nothing. It didn't lead to anything in the future. It was completely worthless. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. The only thing it led to was Mario and Luigi coming back home and the dad saying, "Wow, I'm disappointed in you." But that's it. And he could have just been disappointed in them for not having any job, which was previously the established threshold for disappointment. There was no point. How did they have a script that was this loose and then also race through the plot this quickly? Whatever plot there was. I don't know. Oh, by the way, if you thought you would get to see Jack Black be funny as Bowser, you don't. Bowser has no personality outside of like a cringy retelling of every single he's cluelessly in love with Peach and is practicing going out with her but clearly doesn't know what she wants gag. Have you ever seen a cartoon made for like negative 2-year-olds where there's a guy who's like, there's this girl, I want to go out with her, what should I do? And it's like, here, give her this, and it's like some disgusting gift. They're like, girls really like it when you kick them in the shins. Oh, I'll try that. Like, you've seen these jokes play out 1,000,000 times before. There's nothing in this movie that happens that you can't predict beforehand. There's no consequence to any, like, point of development. I don't know. Does anyone here who watched it disagree with me? I feel like I'm kind of baffled because I had gotten the impression from people who watched the movie beforehand that it was, like, good? I don't know. You're expecting way too much for it. Fuck you. You corporate cuck, okay? I will expect everything in the world from gigantic multi-billion-dollar corporations who are shoving their brand down my throat. I will never... Guys, I'm not even asking for some art house studio shit, okay? Pixar made movies that were for all ages that sometimes are pretty good. I think Moana is a good movie. A movie with a custom soundtrack, with character development and plot and interesting shit happening, by the way. The movie is made over $1 billion. We're not working with a budget here, okay? They clearly had the resources they need and the time they needed to work on this properly and at least develop the script that wasn't this boring, but it's Illumination Studios, okay? This is the studio that had custom written Donkey Kong themed music for one of their race scenes and took it out to put Take on Me in there. The studio is deliberately making these choices to feed you with slop, to shove slop down your throat. Little piggies, eat the slop. It's okay, Tempest. We don't have to talk about it. I didn't watch it, but you're wrong. Yeah. This was worse than Wreck-It Ralph, by far. The dog attack messed up the plumbing, which flooded the city. It was dumb, but not entirely pointless. Yeah, but that's really dumb. Because the premise that I have to accept, then, is that a dog jumping on a sink and denting the piping underneath it would cause a gigantic Brooklyn-wide flood. And that is stupider than just assuming that there's no connection at all between those events. Like, that is not a connection that needed to be established. I can just accept that there's, like, floodwater backing up during a rainstorm in Brooklyn, you know? The idea that because one... Yeah. Has there ever been a good movie based on a video game ever? Yeah, I just can't think of one right now, because they're all trash. It's so bad. But you're cool with Power Stars? What? So is Sonic winning the theater wars? I don't think the first Sonic movie was better than this, but I think it was less of a disappointment. Like, significantly less of a disappointment. Sonic 2, though? I haven't seen Sonic 2. You guys need to start demanding more of the corporations that feed this slop to you, okay? Why is it so warm? Oh my god. Like the Sonic movie actually tried to be a movie. Well, the Sonic movie did actually have character development, which the Mario movie didn't. Since it performed well, I imagine we'll get a Legend of Zelda movie. I expect the movie to break my heart. Yeah, we're just give everything. I want a Kirby movie. Give me a Kirby movie, okay? That's my jam. People say Detective Pikachu is good. I have heard people say that, but I've never seen it. Yeah. Wreck-It Ralph is good, though. You said it's worse than Wreck-It Ralph, but a lot of movies are worse than Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, yeah, the first Wreck-It Ralph is okay. I might think it's worse than the second Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I don't know. Ralph Breaks the Internet. I think they're equal, TBA. They might be equal. I don't know. The second was dog shit. Yeah, what am I saying about the Mario movie? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. It's really bad. Guys, I've just spent the whole time saying the Mario movie is really bad. What do you... What was this? What have we been talking about? Do you think it was a bit? Ralph 2 was just meme humor and references. The Mario movie has more value than that. Oh, well, yeah, good thing the Mario movie wasn't just a string of references connected by no plot and no character development. We thought you meant Wreck-It Ralph 2 is better than Wreck-It Ralph 1. No, I mean, Wreck-It Ralph 1 is definitely the best here. I don't know which is worse, Wreck-It Ralph 2 or the Mario movie. That is what I am saying. Ralph 2 was objectively brand flashing. Yeah, but isn't that what the Mario movie was? Like, it's the whole thing is a brand movie. Would the Mario movie be better if it was handed to DreamWorks? Well, DreamWorks is better than Illumination. Guys, DreamWorks just made Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which was really good. Like, why not? Like, isn't it a little bit that, like, they just did a really, like, good, high-quality, inventive, you know, all-ages animated 3D movie that people loved, and will continue to love for a long time. And then like Nintendo work. Did Mario say his famous catchphrase whammy? No, he just said Mamma Mia like 6 times with all of the weight and gravitas of Sheldon saying Bazinga, but with like the laugh track removed. It was I actually cringed every time, and not even because I'm a hater. Like it actually was bad. Like because it's like Mamma Mia trademark copyright, like ding 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 ding. He can't say it in kind of like a funny or self-referential way. Like you know, something happens and he's like Mamma Mia or something like that. He can't do that. So instead it's like he backflips over a bullet bill, slow-mo Matrix style, and goes Mamma Mia in a way that, one, no one would do in that situation. Why couldn't he just go wah? 2, sounds horrible. 3 is like actually painful to listen to because it's like, Mamma Mia, TM copyright, ding 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 ding. Like, should have been a wahoo. He did plenty of wahoos as well, and they were all bad. I think they should have pitched up Chris Pratt's voice. Hey, do you guys remember that Twitter post where they said that the Chris Pratt opening would be like, it's me, Mario. Hey, what's up? It's me, Mario. Sorry, had something caught in my throat. Welcome to Brooklyn. Like that. That literally happens in the movie, by the way. The opening scene with Mario is doing the like actual Mario voice in the little commercial, and then as soon as it's done, they were like, yeah, what's up? I'm Chris Pratt. Do you think overdoing that voice was you know, like too much for the commercial? I'm not joking. That actually happens. I'm not making a joke. That directly happens. So the Twitter that tweet was completely correct. You know, the gift of prophecy and such and such. You're 100% lying. There's no way that was a scene. That was the opening. That is literally, chat confirm. Yep, if you confirm. No way. Why? I did not sit through that for nothing. Oh, God. What a waste of time. Well, that's not true, because hating can bring you joy, and I do hate that movie. So, you know, in that respect, it was a valuable use of my time. So don't see it then? Damn, don't like my criticism? Don't watch the stream then? Damn, don't like the Nazism? Don't be in Germany. Damn, don't like Adolf Hitler. Damn, avoid the guillotine blade. Avoid the... Hey, dodge this bullet. Dodge this bullet. Don't like the bullet? Get out of the way of the bullet, dumbass. F you.